The whole city locked down.
Voice of Pan-African Media. Your voice, your pride.
As my face are faded by the sun, 10,000 men stand high on the hill, allow silence as the earth is still. 10,000 men trample for the kill, the vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of power, the scavengers wait, each man there's hate, death is late, the battle of power.
Samre yejina Vada Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro shop enimu na yejina ma yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Nana Afro ewo Sese Nana Afro shop inside na yewe yo ya wantuma odo bebre yewo kente yewo meba wa abrochire eba no lace so a eya na nkofo bebre nim say yeba no abrochire ha ye ni lace papa ba banana afro shopper yewo lace bebre yewo cheddar colors ahodo de wopa bia different kinds yewo sweet cheddar yewo German cheddar ene yewo normal cheddar ne opesa wo de pam bia sa wo ye oba sa wo ye bema de opesa wo de cheddar no eye bia eno so obetumi e de aye koba no enwi so a me wo riga ya ye deda ye wo Brazilian hair ye wo human hair papa ye wo Peruvian hair de obenu awaduane wom de opesa wo di nyama gum ni nyina wo banana afro shopper ni nyina wo benya bi ato nana afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi medawas
yo etiefo yebema obi biara ha e de aba Voice of Pan African Media ene memenda ya satenase ya gi adwa se de na wotwe bia memenda bia bo no mienu a ye de dwumadie no ebremo no ene ya satenase ya gi adwa ye be kyerɛkyerɛnsɛmu agudie mre ene aduru so a yato ne din the legendary sports unse aha de ne ball makuku damfo ena ya na etwetwe nkomo na ene de ye ni nkomo nyame ya adoma na otwe bewrem no ye de nkomo twetwe no ebeba so enti no sese ne de ene ye be kyerɛkyerɛ ball records na otwe mu ene boxing mu nsem ena transfer ene fie nsem kakra ene ne ye beka ho asem enti ne yesrem se afi na wabaso a na wahye program no na de onyam gaye no ono soso anaso nte yenka no ono soso enya bia hwe na ye ka ne sa no bomodia ne subscribe e wo YouTube page no wo de okọ ho no ma Voice of Pan African Media na se ubetumi I type VOPAM TV and VOPAM TV nti o type VOPAM TV na ubenya ye programs no honom eno so nti amatiefo madaro ma hobrasiem said ye magye efeso ene ye didwuma no ye bedam ase na emu ye ka kyerem se VOPAM TV mon subscribe my ewo YouTube na ye program na enko akiri oba Facebook so aye wo ho eno so sa VOPAM TV ubetumi enya ye ena Instagram but yesrem a YouTube ne de madaro ma mon subscribe na enko akiri my enti ene no ye nche ho yem se ye didwuma die no be hwehwe so na ye twa ho kakra normally ne na anka menimia Saviola ena ehedwumadi na sene nso ene yam se bibinti no wantimi amekan ho animu ya na emu obeba na ye de dwumadi na ahyehe so nanso oni ho a enchese dwumadi ni ho ye bema mo se de de ma mo da bia no enti ye dai ho kakra bia ba ye ba na de ho no ye de abeto ato amoso nti etiefo mo bia anyi na fidie no emfiri hanom utie Voice of Pan African Media the legendary sports.
Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 As my face are faded by the sun, 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and our silence as the essence still.
Yo etiefo yam se twa ho kakra bi bai ya san ba ye de dwumadie no be hyehye so na ye de be hyehye so no na ye ka kyerem se nipa bi ene kuta yemu wo maso ya sene ama dwumadie no abre biara no ye tumi de bremo ma mosusuduru memenda se ya na so wa relax na wo da wakonwam na utie dia eko bia ye nche ho na afro shop na afro shop ewo Hanover Germany heye o Varivider Strasse 38 wase entoma ene enku ene enema sort enema bebre kente bibia wo pe bia no yam se ukona na hono ma wonsa ebetumi aka bi enti bomode ne bo anan ne ko hono se untumi nko so a akwanya wo se ubetumi afre no na ne na twetwe nkomo na tone ma bebre a mintumi mubo ni nyina di enku ntoma kente ntoma first class ntoma papa ko hono ma so ubetumi anya bi enti wo hwe na Ovalinvada Stress 38 and the number no so e screen ne so ntino ubetumi afa na etoso biem no so B&D vulcanizer ono so ton spare parts any ties bi chese bi afa ka ho bi aka ho pass ties no de dada any mono pass no so second hand any de first class ni na bibia obenya bia ma na se o hwe na the location here Kumasi High School Ginyasi Road ne so e hope udi oduru hono ma ubehunu B&D vulcanizer se o hwe so ne se o yira ubetumi afre no e wo sa number si mienu a e wo yi screen ne so no ubefre ofra ba bia wa yira duru bia no yam se obeba abefa na yanche ho no yam se dwumadie na e na ye de hihye so no yam se na wotwe atwa mu no Bundesliga no de eguso esiso a chese taw ye ni abra ye de ye bogum nko ana wo hwe scoreline no se de koye na yam se Mönchengladbach eso ene Union Berlin omusham 4-1 Mönchengladbach winning 4-1 and FC Cologne eso etena fie ema Leipzig eso be share no 4-1 na 4-2 na chese wo hwa ahode ne bridge eburu bi so na Werder Bremen eso ne Eintracht Frankfurt eso so ye wie na chese Frankfurt for no abo Bremen for no frem ma chese trainer eno mu chechire ede so a wo na Freiburg eso so ne Mönchengladbach eno so ye 1-0 yancha ho no eye Mainz eso ne Hoffenheim de boani ye wie na chese Mainz for da form baako Schalke so ekwaji enimguase enti no saa enatie enti yatie for ye nche ho ye nche ho bibiri no ye de league table no ebetudwa ye de betudwa ama mohunu die Bundesliga no so eko na ye hwede odi kan wa atwede no so yem say ye hwe atwede no so a Bayern Munich Allianz Arena chese on the already kind 70 points on the kwa no woko and Dortmund and tosu 2 on so 63 points into uhwemu I am say emu atwen 7 good points and Leipzig so tosu on so 62 points and Mönchengladbach on so 56 points Leverkusen 56 and Wolfsburg on so 45 and SC Freiburg also 41 Hector so 38 Schalke 35 Cologne FC Cologne 35 Augsburg so 32 and Union Berlin also 32 Mainz 05 so 31 Düsseldorf so 28 and Werder Bremen 25 Paderborn am say ono na utwato table no so ono so 20 points chese yeguso a agronim kura ye de ahyehye so a chese Munich for no Bayern for de kwa na umu eko umanim saa so na yam se La Liga no so estate yawada no estate na chese Sevilla trafie echi Real Betis eno mo eka mienu ema omu timu baako na chese La Liga no se Spain no ko no ma omu so ahyase a omu de enema egu akwan ma omu bo na omu bo no yam se yedi kan kasa empty stadium indoor games ena omu bo no ene Valencia betene fie also send Levante de Babuani Espanyol any Alaves Celta Vigo any Villarreal Leganés any Valladolid Barcelona any Real Mallorca also de Babuani den Atletico Madrid also any Atletico Bilbao almost de Babuani Elba any Real Madrid Osasuna any Real Sociedad also de Babo any den chese se de aircon eno no na ye call EPL no so ebe start ewo yam say ebeba so June 17th 2020 I think say next week and also so baso den etiefo bi ahwe animu EPL the Premier League is back into no de ho eso no na wo hwem so a yam say na otwe mu no Serbia Cup no Red Star Belgrade and Partizan Belgrade so the Bueni the Bueni na chese akoye 2-1 against FK Partizan Belgrade na eno na I raise concern bebre if it's a stadium honom no na nka ye say eni say many park stadium we indoors but any pa over 25,000 ekopie mu stadium na go pramane so na obi a nose mask distance ne so anya adwuma wo enti na we na enkrofo ebusa say so covid-19 no sebia de ebi eni ho no mana eno so akotwe ensem bebre e de aba enti no ye hwe yeguso ye hwe asem a FIFA ebeka e de akire wo mo enti de ho no ena de toso so ye de bekofie yanche ho ye de beko efie na ya kohwe de koso ewo ye local league ni maye Ghana na de ho no ye de abre ye tiefo tino etiefo ye de ni nyina so ebebre mu enti ye ko transfer so ensensem ni mu a yam say Chelsea ne Timo Werner enkomo twetwen no almost a done deal because 53 million pounds en APM utimi say Frank Lampard obo adwuma a nani asa bra o san pe asa brante a ye friend Andre Onana ono so 27 million pounds no am tono de na so enkomo twetwen egusu a ekoso enti Chelsea de omu ani abre se omu beye business or transfer nim ena Coutinho eso so ni Newcastle yam say after ni 2 years loan so wie Munika ordinary kire Newcastle eno so nkomo die guso a ekoso ena Real Madrid eso so epe Ngolo Kante Chelsea eso pe Kai Havertz entino so mu pe no dia na chese eba se player ne je penny so beba bisia kan na chese ese ton Kante anase Jorginho emani free team nim na Kai Havertz eso eba no so ebenya position na we na Bayer 04 Leverkusen de kokobos no ko won kese pa de akoma Chelsea say omu player no ye untouchable nya de omu ton no enti omu hweye na omu amfa kwatikwa bia so say omu epe player no anase bibisa enye sa enkoyi mom na Chelsea and Manchester United so target our Napoli for defender Koulibaly ono so yam say da bia ni sikasem no kwa na ekosro enti no di akoye no PSG so de no agim say player no onyana ankope a ne bo no 106 million pounds enti yehwe Arsenal so ne Aubameyang sensem no Aubameyang send contract na so extend enti ne extension no say empanifo ne na transfer say one train contract nim na otwe betwam na yam say omu beton no enti eno ene nsem a ekoso enti atiefo ya de mu bewura boxing so mu kakra ya de mu bewura boxing mu kakra enti se bewura boxing mu so yam say na otwe mu Tyson Fury ni promoter Frank Wallen ono ene Anthony Joshua so promoter a friend Eddie Hearn omu so agiatum say omu ebesi akan yam say boxing na beba so den but etiefo we dem fanche yam say Tyson Fury ne Anthony Joshua promotion no but na beba so na de ekeka kono yam se enye afi 2020 na nyame de yankwa che ne se da so te ase a ebetimi aye afi 2021 efi se Tyson Fury promoter ne managers na agiatum se woni Anthony Joshua de bebo ani na se kobasa wada so ayi so mu pay no off no na wada no so enti ase on so pese third fight no eba so because uhwem ayam se nka heavyweight belt ne de ka se boxing an kani na ya America ejina America na so ono ne one man contender se waka ewa America na Tyson Fury kobo ne fimfram na waje bet no e de best ko UK into hwema the unified title no ewo Anthony Joshua ho na world heavyweight WBO no no so akodi Tyson Fury ho ye hwe challenger obe challenge na waje enti sese no empanifo aya no cross ntokwa de ekwan bia so no ebeba so na sefa eba so a first match no the obe win no first match no 50-50 scale be pim no 50-50 no obi abenya by the second match no yam said the winner no win first match no ono no be first 60 ono ebe first 60 na the olusu ye no eso afa 40 nti yam say empanifo de eniema egu akwama omu gusu a omu twetwe nkoma minim say nyame ya adoma ekwan bia so no ebeba so na wada na aye osi akwan ama omu ayese omu pain off no so na say obetimi aka me back na wa be defeat Tyson Fury na wajire title no back na yehwema yam say Tyson Fury ekuta IBF, WBO, IBO was also undefeated, undisputed champion. And Anthony Joshua also WBA, IBF, WBO ono so ne title kuta no into ono so unified champion or unified champion into fight we no yam say akoye the generational fight if we say boxing bass English boxing association nim into atiefo de ewo ho no yam say ye bedan ye ni na ye de ani so akofie kakra na yakohwe de ekoso yam say na otwi mu coach Thomas Dia also so e kan sem bi o say wono de Ash Gold team na ewo ho no player bia ni ho bro so nti player ufi say untumi mo Ash Gold bi mu na kwada ho no o person kwa just catch no mo so person ko umbe ma kwan amoako na opem so amakotoko emfie mienu so no emfie mienu ene akire se omu ntimi ntɔ player bia biem na kyese ne nurse bibi so no pese omu build team no na omu timi conquer Africa enti hon sensem no amanfo akora present ka yeso omu ye no 4 years ne 3 years ne 5 years but ono an nim de ye no ye man team enti no yemfa eno no enkonkon etoso biem no yam se kotokofo se omu pese omu change omu stadium no baba yara no omu kosi akan ewo abrankese Kesben stadium dada na ewo abrankese no anane Boatin Sports Stadium enti we na nkrofo so support se omu tu sa na mo na ebeboa pa afise kotokonye team ketwa o matra ha by this time afi na omu bepe stadium akira kwan enti no nipa ni bi so de o madwene ato a chese nyame ya adoma e bi ene ma bekoyie kotokosan so opese wo ye academy enti academy na won sensem no ne ye baba abem ama obi biala atiase if we say o ba abrochira no academy no ye different types of academy enkwala no omubo enti ye be chirechirim ama obi atiase na coach Jay Sapon controversial coach Jay Sapon ono na semu bekai na wa coach Olympics emle bi obo coach and Smith of Asum semu bekai ono ne first bibini coach obo Meden of Asum ma kotokoni Olympics one na make allegation we say almost 80% anase players ombobo wo Ghana no omu nyina efe no bone me chirache so omu num wi otimi mention all players bia nyame ato ne sa frɛ wo mo na Robert Mensah di makotene say na omu ye we smokers oni mo kan de ne sesi ne bo even coast players kra no ebinum wi enti no ko sapon so asem a waka no waka de ato dwenti no ye nje ye beba ba sansem ni nyina mu na ya hwe de ebekwa akosi na etoso biem no Bernard Dada Dombote the serial killer ono so aka asem bia yem say asem no ano ohyepa but ye bomodi a ye de beba afidie so na ono a kyerɛkyerɛ ne nsem akyerɛ enkrofo asem a okan no Dombote 2006 World Cup na Ghana qualifier no mu be Germany no obobi qualify stage no ka ho obo matches ne bebre na ye hya omu bose so omu timi qualifier ye bema omu $10,000 each okay omu timi qualifier omu ni Keved last match omu qualifier ema onu ankasa na ni mienu na wode hwa ade no se players ni bi esa ka omu $10,000 but esa ka omu $10,000 but ono Dombote no instead of 10,000 no onya $1,000 into 10,000 9,000 e kai no ekodi GFA manager na satam no na ye Kofinsia ti Dombote person che say Mr. Kofinsia ene first ka no one day o kan play point blank say Kofinsia ene di ni sika no enti no say sa na tie dia ye boy homodin say enye ne ba ye hwese de Dombote beba afidie so na ono a akyerɛkyerɛ nsenim na odi akye na say ampa say de Dombote ka no no credit na Dombote ni first player ye this ade we ye di no anasa ekoso blaster nim eni ehu anasa afi na ahya ase ene moma ye nhwe na de obi ano ye de besi ho na ya hwe ena ye ko yam se ye boxing sensem na Mark Tyson so I na address obesa back na the back no ena Channel Breaks say ono the main contender obetumi abe break no intini ye hwe say Channel Breaks eso beba back na on Tyson e de abebo ani tietiefo yem say ye de sa ensensem no besia na ye twa ye ho kakra bi ntie ba ye be kyerɛkyerɛm na tiefo ya ba bam na de obi ana tiefo so aso atibi na ene yem say ye be bie ye lines no atom ntem ye be bie atom ntem panti wa adwen kyerɛ efa yesram say ofra a yem say dwumadie ya ye di no ho nsɛm de ye ka no ena obɛka bi ya na yempese wo de asem foforo be ba betwam na akoye asem bia e bia yeni mo hwe na ekwa akotwe problems aba enti da bia no ya mo follow de ye ka no enti menche ho no meka chem say yesrem atiefo ene mu na edi dwuma no enti no share program no ma ne subscribe your page no VOPAM TV ewo YouTube na ye dwumadie ne ye di bebre so ho na obetimi comment na obetimi like ye so agro no be cost na da bia duru memi ndase ya yeso anya opepe na ya betena na ye bie ensem ni bi mu akyem enti atiefo yem say ye twa ho kakra bi na ya san ba ye beto aso
Mama kwaba samre ye gina Vadenvader Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro Shop enimu na ye gina ma yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Nana Afro ewo Say Nana Afro Shop inside na yeweyo ya wantuma odo bebre ye wo kente ye wo meba wa abrochire eba no lace so a eya na nkofo bebre nim say ye ba no abrochire ha ye ni lace papa ba oba Nana Afro Shop a ye wo lace bebre ye wo sheda colors ahodo de wo pa bia different kinds ye wo sweet sheda ye wo German sheda ene ye wo normal sheda ne wo pesa wo de pambia sa wo ye oba sa wo ye bema de wo pesa wo de sheda no eye bia eno so ubetumi e de aye koba no enwi so a me wo riga ya ye deda ye wo Brazilian hair ye wo human hair papa ye wo Peruvian hair de obenu awaduane wom de opese odi nyama gum ni nyina oba Nana Afro Shop a ni nyina obenya bi ato Nana Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi medawas
Osa, 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 o. 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 As my face are faded by the sun, 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and loud silence as the air stood still. 10,000 men trample for the kill. The vultures fly, the wind is high.
yo atiefo yem say ye twa ye ho kakra na ya san ba tino de ho no ene de beto ato so ama ye tiefo na umu atie bi nuru o ya de o boxing
me ya di pa be me na me fan ye mo
when nye ho sa
me ni di boxing
Osa, osa, o. 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 Osa.
yo atiefo yem say ye twa ye ho kakra ya ba ene meka se nuru be late kakra na nyame adom wa beduru a be kan nsa intino ye be hwedwumadi na se intino nuru akwaba me mo akwaba edeba Voice of Pan African Media ahade ye ofie intino waba na na me busa no ya de o boxing kakra
boxing me ya di pa be me na me fan ye me dwo be boxing me me pa because my share I was the quote Azuma Nexon and Joshua Clote, Oscar de la Hoya, and some other old fight, Whitaker, and then those kind of old fight, Michelle. And Luis was one of my favorite boxer. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yam say I no pay news bia where the FM keke Arians Arena or stadium one na run over the jam say flower ne wo na be turning into weed. Yeah. And you know,
it's no surprise because
a strange party as a microphone agrium say ebi ani pa bi na share that say or plant sa de no ho na bibisa antino as I we kakra intino you hunu said ye
me I am surprised because every bonus league game biano among for kwa amoko shiwi wo ho amonu we because police don't have right to control there to make any problem when someone is smoking. Most of them they see that they are smoking weed, but they cannot do anything because they're having fun and they're a lot. So police so I think and then it's not something that I say no, I'm not aware of it. I know it is possible.
Okay. Asante hene empany for no mu ye be sha se afifi ntino na mde otumfo te kokoso edemra ato koto company for no so mo mu to player bia.
Yeah, I think
and osanse umu enye like umu build team no enya soccer academy so players no muto fra bonten e bia one season umu timi to players e bia 50 ne ade no na enko form so team no betimi ahu omo ho abobo yi and a third one pese omu yi omu stadium no omu playing home in grounds no e de ko abrankese baby first na Kesben e boni home no umpese umkojewa umakọ no makọ hwe niema amu se umbetimi abo niema ba ko mienu bi na yese ye efri hono no kosi aka ho no nti sa niema mi ense ne yem se obekere wadwena fa ho.
I think I am pregnant for long time and we are going to witness a beautiful delivery because the SEO Kotkono idea I was waiting long time to happen and I didn't either abban so I think it's right time now. Or if it is even too late for Kotoko to do it now. Looking at crap like Asante Kotoko, they should have their own academy, own stadium, and own training facilities and gym and everything. But look, Kumasi Sports is for the nation, it's for the city of Kumasi, not Asante Kotoko. And then if Kotoko, I remember in 2001, 2002, Kojo Poku Mahala, they came from the youth side. When he came, anytime Kojo Poku came for substitute, he was a best player in the team. I think Kojo should have built a good academy and get this player into the first team because now that Otumfo is saying that they shouldn't buy a player, now they'll look at the academy and take two or three good players and promote them. Even though if they have the academy, 2 or 3 matches, they can take 2 or 3 players from the youth team and sit on the bench so they can develop into the first team. They should have do this long time. Looking at 2000 House of Folk, the 45 battalions. Almost 7 or 8 players is from the academy, from the Arulas. They play in the Haas first team that won the Champions League. Look, the team that has having that time, they could have meet Barcelona and beat them, or even some of the European teams and beat them. They became the 8th best team in the world. Look at that time. Most of the players came from the youth side, Arulas.
Yeah.
So why Kotok shouldn't do the same thing? Because they have the money more than us, they have the support, they have the...
Me ntwa no unim dia mesoso ase me hu fa ho ne ye. On say no ball no under 20 na nkwala no obi ahu ska. Yeah, academy ni obi ahu ska nkwala no obi ahu ska. Obi apese otu kwan. Obi apese otu kwan. Akwala no o 12 years but o manager. And a manager na ayeso o bo no ho ka. Akwaji akola na free parents ho and coast card ni bibia so ati ase enti say it say under 20 and I say youth side mo be fa akola no edna ko na akola na kwotena mo nchen mo akwotete akola no me fi say ade bia enkola no so ye kan say ya ne nim say ye wo hwe those days na bo na passion no ni bobo ni fra akomema say chese ye wo ho asa obo as gold obo has obo kotok even obo Premier League. But then you win is akola bia pese one time and go benya obruko so na bi kran ko tu kwan.
The all can we sanka about
me ba enti on say so study Ashgold na wo academia chesere special. So o she wafa say na wafa ifo ne be CEO Red Bull. Na Red Bull for dia. And omugu omu team no. To mu ya no mko na wafa fo no. Eteki over hono so and omo no so de no omu what say omo ayo madu say omu ya de nti ho na nkwala ni nyina omo si omu dan che say bibia hono nkwala ne te ho mi ankasa me no ka say makọ me de mani akohwe ma test omu pitch no so no che say wasi so ga ko pe kra o ko hono distance no wa enti ama akwala bia anka say okoye say ni dia say ball from school omba tema Sunday ni we weekends no mabe emba sorry betoto niam no omko ka na do omba enti ofisa say ye academy ebia so mu ye junior team under 20 amateur ba say ye academy ye see academy dia na akwala ne ba no opon no okofie ni me hu say sa na be bo because hwe jatete ye academy Audu Isaka ya players ni beble ya academy ba ho that de na wasi na academy house no de nkwala na go omu ko school mu ye bibia enti so kasa nkwala no eno na ya na de sa obla no wi ni ade okwa no akra ne papa mi ko train eno ano ma biem wo say afini life no na change enti say academy na academy system what type of academy and akotofu yeah.
Okay, let me explain one thing about academy. Let's say here in Europe, the way they build academy, it's like no, they have something called Tanat. You can, let's say, Wolfsburg, let's say the Charles of Sika Kono, he was scouted by Hannover 96 and then he was brought by Wolfsburg, so he stayed there and go to school. Yeah. So let's say going to school, they will look at your school report. If you're not doing well in the school, they will sack you. If you are not doing, if you are having, no matter how good you are, if you are creating problem in the camp, everything they will sack you. They have to bring us some discipline in the what in the academy. Yeah. I remember Isaiah, the child of Sika Kono, he beat one the goalkeeper. They bound him for the national team that he was playing German under 17. And the 17, they bound him for a couple of matches, and then they even suspended him for some games. That if the keeper did not recover, he never play much for Wolfsburg. Till the keeper recover before they talk about his situation, before they let him start playing again. So I think in academy, it shouldn't be all that luxurious or something like that. It should be a discipline. No matter how good you are, if you are not disciplined, they have to sack you because there are a lot of guys who want to get that opportunity. So if you have that opportunity and they are misbehaving, you have to go out. So I think in Ghana, what they have to do is that they should do it in a way that they can decide to do it into two. If you are from Kumasi, you can stay at your parents' home, but you have to follow the rules and regulations from what? From the team. You can go to training and go home and stay with your parents. But if you are from Bolatanga or you are from Cape Coast, you are from Ho and everything, and you are scouted by Sri Kotko, you are in a place for Kotko Academy, you have to stay in a Kotko clubhouse and go to training. And then at your free time, you can go home and come. So you have to do what? Normal, and the children have to go to school. It shouldn't be, let's say, only football, because the child have to go to school. And then they'll look at the school report, whether he's doing well in the school, because football nowadays combined with education and then what? Football. You cannot say, I'm a footballer, I have to play football. If you're not able to earn a lot in football, after the end of your career, you're going to go to work. If you are not having any qualification, where can you go to work? Even in Europe here, some earn millions of euros, but at the end of the career, they are broke and they have to go to work. So I think in Ghana, they have to make it the academy that it should be education with what? Football. So that the parents will allow their children to go to the clubhouse and stay, because they know that if my child is in the Kotko Academy, he have good education, he will be well disciplined. If you're a weed smoker or you're a fan of smoking, they have to what? Give you warning 2 or 3 times. If you are not acceptable, they kick you out, because there are good players waiting there to come. So you can't be there and then misbehaving when other one needed this chance. So I think what could have to be what? Put things in order, investment in the academy. And then I think one man can even spend the academy. So in every year they have, let's say, under 12, under 10, under 15, under 16. So if you are in the under 15 or 16, they can see if you are good. They can try to let you go 1 time or 2 times training in the first team and see how you can develop into the team. This is how they do here. So this is how they are able to get, let's say, this how you call it, this player from Leverkusen, Kavahar, who's not doing well. He was at the U16 and they promoted him to the first team and he's doing well. Now Wolfsburg now is having one new boy. It's like he's going to be a great, I forget his name, but he just promoted him from under 15 to the first team. He even scored goal last week in the Bundesliga.
Kai Havertz.
No, Kai Havertz. One, I forget his name.
Okay.
He's a 16 years old guy. He's not playing the Bundesliga. Yeah. In Ghana, to have some young talented boys, 16 years old, when we invest money and train them, what they can do. Example like Wafa. Look at the players they have. When they play against Kotko, you could see that these players are well trained, they are well organized. Yeah. So why Kotko can't you do like this? Kotko should have take what? They should have go and buy Wafa when they was leaving. So they could what? They could use this one to make investment. Let's say okay, Kotko Academy is based in Accra, and then they will scout players all over the country and bring them to Ho, and then it's all so they'll have every year they will promote players from there to the first team. Yeah. Look at how Wafa is playing.
I remember when they were playing against us folk in Sokope. We did first half. The score was 6-0. My friend was a goalkeeper there, Samuel Kuru, but he was a goalkeeper them. They scored him and then he lost his position in the team. So imagine that they know that the academy.
Your body says.
Yeah.
And we're losing it.
Yeah. They know that if we build good academy, you can earn a lot of money from there. Every year, players from Red Bull is going outside the country.
And now, yeah, you know, you're in church, mono. If you academy assembly, I can say, teams no more Ghana and Uma drinking course. Ice Gold, the academy say, yeah, and a team the call form. Kotoko under 20, a Guya and a team the call form. House of Folk, Auroras, a say, and a team the call form. Into me, academy, the type of academy I'm a panel. They were missing who. Yeah, nuamu tuntum fo nkwala na ofie no minim se de omuti mi sabo no ye nyina ye die kira ye hu de eko se o ma akwala ne chance se o operate o mo no from efie to we what they say training o be training no kofia enya de obesia hwe wokọ wafa ho a mama examples ye wo computer machines a kotrawa football games compose ball uchi formation be na how bo say near you am also be body say also be say na mo dey see I say sleeping with football, eating football, thinking bibi on baby is all about football. So at here show akola no ebe bo ni free no dey akọ training or the free no be ko training obenya obi o say team bia so stubborn player o team bia no abekọ a we say 1 to 20 no obi aye we good ye obakọ e stubborn ba nipa ba ko betime influence obo say afi training no krabia okwa opon disco ne some na ba nani so omeka me crowd me no monsa na me play no fantastic ball afi ya anu monsa wabo ye kan so no bokra no otimi ball onya 27 years no end in career enti sa suban ne de any academy me feel say so be academy a so munya nkwala no nation scout o he Pedro fo yom ko yi kotoko free mu o ayi confederation cup Cote d'Ivoire na nation o mu kwala ni bi free Senegal bi free Guinea e bi o ma ka mu nyina abom enti wo no nko ano so o ya Ghana ni na so mu abo dia me chance o ti ase a ye ka sa akra na metre obesei so ati ase wo de rem
mami catch our time now go for squad Champions League final 1995 no look Isa Rahman they brought him from the academy and then he played most of the game excellently because he was trained in the academy. We should go for that more Kosi or from where Guinea or where he played they have a Kosi from
no more Nisuji
Kosi and then Bonki Waki from Togo.
Ni Bombo Waki
from Togo and then from
Kwani Ibrahim
from Guinea.
Sila Abdul Sila Kamara from Guinea. Yeah.
And look at those players. They have international players in the team, so the exposure is different. So Kotko, why can't you go and buy the best player from Tanzania League or national player for Tanzania, the best player from Congo, the best player from even Guinea? Example, Tipi Mazambe. They bought Kotko good player, the best player from Kotko. When Bekun Chelsea was able to groom these unknown players to become known players, like the life of Asante and then these players or Chelsea, how do you call it? Tipi Mazambe bought 4 players from Bekun Chelsea, and then the next year they won Champions League. Kotko, you are there, you know this player. Why don't you buy this player to play Champions League and then go far?
Nuru, na sa players na yebo mu nyina din no. We are sure currently sa players no yewo players said any o de Isa Rahman. And she ball and no ball and Chelsea be a defender or san goals. We hear Nisuji Kosi a on play no ho ball ho on play no ho go ho midfield striker tete no na mo na the ball say Ruvan is or 18-yard striker ni bi what just on ha no ho and I hear Kwani Ibrahim one of the swaps here
excellent
and you know at point in time say Antonio Seko do so or bebo na or he ya usu ene ebo say we bo say or he sana ina oh tumuda meshe.
And one thing about Ghana football is that there are a lot of teams now. I think the government or the GFA have to make or put law or rules and regulation. There shouldn't be too much team. There should be what? Few team with quality.
because you can see in every in a village in those days or in the early 90s, you could see 2 or 3 teams and have quality players. But now, if you go to Tema, if you go to Kumasi, in one area, you could see 3 or 4 teams. Even though some of them don't even have park to train, they have to share the park and train. And it's something not good for Ghana football. They have to what? Make a rules and they had not having a lot of teams, few teams. So the league will be competitive. Let's say there is one league. Look, they have almost 80 or how do you call it? 80 or 50 Division 1. It doesn't help. They have to make what? A few Division 1 teams, 18 teams or 19 teams to hold the country. So there will be quality in the league. Division 2 team will be quality. There is no any Division 2 team can beat the Premier League team in Ghana. No. But if they do it very nicely, you could see that Division 1 team can even score first team because they have few teams. The quality will be okay and people will be interested to go and watch. And they should do it in a way that will be attractive. But if you see every village want to have a team, it doesn't help. And then they don't have even good players. When they are playing, it's not making interesting. The coach team, Bobo, is doesn't function. So why can't the GFA reduce the number of clubs and make rules and regulations before you have a team? You should make sure that you can pay your players well. You should have this kind of money before you form a team. And the money what? Before the league start, you should put the salary on everybody konto, everybody account. And then the win everything you said. So the players should not be suffering.
Okay. When me make a suggestion we na yeah the next part na to us. Me was a feeling we me move to say sa enter schools, primary schools we na any JSS league na ija bon, sa JSS league no.
It affect Ghana football.
Yeah, when ma the crom. I remember say maybe you call village be ko ball. You could meet boy be. I swear. You say striker be wo mlika with just qualities ni no will be. Na yeah that time you near deal with team no. Say the boy any train yase no. Ti dia ya say you twa no you didn't try any free. So at boy wait e kura say we dey mo fanche what kroket to am. Senya sa boy bi sa inter schools na be regional so bi hu na na oni nipa bia wo krokese mu a o de ne career net was. As you 1998 France 98 me be player bi di so kan na friend no Pierre Njanka from Cameroon. Was yam say on nya go of the tournament o she go bi a oni ba bi am kopeke no team ne ko training tour eno mu sa akwa ne bo division 1 to mu ya no sika akwa ne player kikiri o mu de ne ba kroma ye de select ne ka team no it no nka match no ho no nka but obi pray ne yes akwa ne e be share go bi a France 98 so no it says player no enye adum bi na kodum no akura na se anka bi ote ho saa enti sai ne da bia me ka se an start say sa JSS for league no e ho ye benya cosplay because akura say akura o SS na ka so nkobo kosa hunu so aburu 16 years she 16 years no bia baking the debut Bundesliga 16 years so no enti no ya nkofa de we achi na se ye de adwene ye copy obi de bia be ka achi.
And look, in Ghana we have lost a lot of talent people in Ghana football just because of what? There is no any big teams or there's no any big teams some of the cities. Let's say example like Wa, Bolga and then Ho, because these teams they most of the time the lack of Premier League teams. Let me tell you, in Bolga there was having one boy you know Ayarga, they pick Ayarga through from inter schools games. And then they have one to Roy Aloita and have Samu. These boys, they were very, very talented, but no one was able to scout them. But through inter-schools games, this boys was able to go and some of them play at you. And then Omundi was able to play at you.
And me boy, me try no say you can say player no. Ebia okoye SS obenya chance. Nipa dodo say na omu maame mo enya chance om do mu koye SS at that time. Any say kura no. Obi wa SS yetimi ma no so koto ebi oflikumasi so nko ho. Ento nko ho no. Scout de be kokore problem man.
So let me end this story. Let's say like Ayarga.
Yeah.
Ayarga was scouted by Gophers.
Yeah.
And then he was with this how do you call it? This Black Star how do you call him?
John Mensah.
And then this boy Adolfba or Adolfma, he play Bafako United.
Okay.
Odoba. I played with him when I was in
oh, okay.
when I went to Bafako and then he was going to he was getting old.
Yeah.
And then look at those players. So this player was able to scout about school games. If not school games, no one would have seen like Roy and then Ayarga. Ayarga should have been one of the best players, like second I've been playing in Ghana because the boy was playing. You can never.
Yeah, so different friend Maestro.
He's very excellent player. So I think
the night both left and right in.
I think before Ghana football will be okay, we have to what? Create the school football again. Let's say school football and the SS games. That one was excellent.
And
SS games. That one. That SS football. They have to bring it back again, and then the schools, and then the coast. Because look at Dombote from coast to Gapoa, and then to Starlet, and look at Bashir Gambo from Envoys to how do you call it, to Starlet, and look at this boy to how do you call it, this player, CSCI, also from Tema.
Okay. From
coast to how do you call it, to Gapoa, and then to Hasselfolk.
Okay.
So I think the coast football helps a lot of Ghanaian footballers, and it even helped the Ghanaian league, because from there we could see the quality of the players who can play in the national team or the Premier League clubs. Even look at Kumasi. Yeah. They have Envoys, they have Asante Gold, they have Corners Babies, and then they have this how do you call it?
It's a park cry, boss cry, and
even those players, or we cannot even get them again, because those times there was schools and you could find this talent, but now we cannot get them again. So we have to go back to coast football and then the schools games so that we can get Ghana football back into life again.
Okay. Me ansani be kono abonten me fa Dombote asemi so. Dombote so am make Alex bi say Kofinsi and former GFA boss. Tama Black Star able qualify 206 e dey aba win Germany no. I think say President Shawmo boss say each player be qualifier ebenya $10,000, but qualify no players dey won see din komo no din komo ne ade be brain saka $10,000, but no Dombote as player no scan saka $1,000 into no sa $9,000 no, so no $9,000 no ekudi ho ana Dombote so atimi atena sia wan kaso asem ada enti I wonder say afa na wakobi sa asem ne so enti meye se kwan bia so no mepe Dombote na matwe na ba afidie so, but enye ne medi ho dwuma na ono abechire mama enkrofo atie enti sa asem na first time bi asini ana say watiti bi se mpanifo ni bi the enkrofo nsa hye bo asesa.
You know, before some of them get to the Black Star through connection, through whom I know, and they get to the Black Star. Yeah. And look at Dombote, it was that first gate, it was Slatete who was in charge, or coach how do you call it, Djukovic from Serbia who was involved, and there was it was a first match in a Massport Stadium, and Dombote was amount, and then even that game Ibrahim Tanko played. Yeah. Ibrahim Tanko played the first game, and they won South Africa 3 goals. Slum Tal scored a fantastic goal. So I think how do you call it? Dombote played only one match, and then I think
Dombote didn't play only one match.
I remember he played only that match, and then some matches was in camp, he did not play only some.
No, Boshe go na.
Okay.
Yeah, Somalia 6 as I said. Dombote was in action. I think he scored a goal.
That one was the qualification before the World Cup groups match.
Yeah.
And before the group matches started, he played only one game, or if he was in the bench at that game against
Dombote was 6 games. Okay. And another China Keved match, the final match, no bench.
Okay.
Our dressing was Jesse.
That one is not problem. But what we can do is that they have to do what? They have to talk to Dombote and then let him go and see secretly and see what they can do, because this one is between what? Dombote and then the GFA.
Well, Dombote and GFA, you try on kakra be besaba. Why? Therefore, yam say Dombote asem na ye kano na ye die on kakra bi yenche na ye the twas na twas. Dombote asem the sun try if say I think say Kevin Prince Boateng ba Black Stars ye tin sem bebre. Even this boy Gambo also make it sa na say ono enyo obi na a season of Black Stars on one far pen no tro let blow say ombo biem eniema wa hu no eto so biem Isa Ahmed ye ka so on first camera o ka tro mo say on Black Star no fa nya because o ye na japade no no okotoko into onye so op Black Star bo so be it etiefo ye twan ho aba na ye de ho no abeto amos
mama kwa aba samre ye gina Vadenvader Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro shop enimu na ye gina ma yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Nana Afro ewo say na Afro shop inside na yewe yo. Ye want tuma odo bebre. Ye wo kente, ye wo meba wa abrochire. Eba no lace so a. Eya na nkofo bebre nim say ye ba no abrochire ha, ye ni lace papa. Ba oba na Afro shop a. Ye wo lace bebre, ye wo cheddar. Colors ahodo, they upe bia different kinds. Ye wo sweet cheddar, ye wo German cheddar, and ye wo normal cheddar. Ni opesa wo de pambia, sa wo ye oba, sa wo ye bema. Di opesa wo de cheddar no eye bia, eno so ubetumi e de aye. Koba no enwi so a. Me wo riga ya ye deda. Ye wo Brazilian hair, ye wo human hair, papa, ye wo Peruvian hair. Di obe no waduane wom, di opesa wo di nyama gum. Ni nyina wo banana Afro shopper. Ni nyina ubenya bi ato. Nana Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi medawas
yo atiefo yam say you try ho ye je nkrato kakra ya saba intino ye de wo mu aso ya sene no so ho ensem no fm kakra na dwumadi na ato aso yam say me producer abone ni achem nti yam say ya to dwumadi no so ano no don botasem ya na ye kan enipa bebre Black Star omuba ebe su ebe twadwa adwo yam say ye de nkrofo bebre because off air crime and nkrofobia did nkomo a o mabobo ni bia kwa akiri pa a o musika yam say ye from national team o mkodure kikiri krombo wie ye say o munko na o musika say ni eno ano no bepem no mu dia retire say ne na beba officer sa de no motivate players ne say Black Star no kromu bo munya or say player bebo team national team okay my friend no waba money na ntra se anya jeje bia se wan hyeje se osika ese wa mo bia osika ese to no wode akoma pa wonim so okatim no na se bebo na wie no na se ukocheska na akoma we se na e wa bron so hu se ya release this ka say see from players it is when expenses are wonim se menya kra no menya ska say na se later no ukofa se ska we e wa bron no hu se ni colleague wa man say ya ufi se motivate players no so babo ntino be catch ni hu nipa na say ni nkola bia show mo nkran say o mu follow Black Stars no na say bibisa.
You know, when it comes to bonuses and salary of the Black Stars, it should be equal because everybody deserve equal salary, everything equal. So like if you later hear that this player get money more than me, and then even though you all do the same job, it is painful. So I think it should be equal share and equal right in the Black Star. And then sometimes to the GFA, they say okay, the money is not yet in, but when the money come, you get it. And sometimes when the money come, they see some of the money, or they look at some players and then try to sit on their money, which is not fair. Because if I hear that this player had his money, but me not, why? And then you sometimes you might even get your own plane ticket to come to the game and end up have to go back. It's not fair. I remember in 1997, the under 20 team. That time, Basiru Gambo was in a 20. Baba Idrisu, Ofurikwe, and then those played under 20. And they went and played tournament in Morocco and something like that. And then the players said they will not play. They have to give us some winning bonus. And then Baba Sule, he was playing in Spain, and then he brought some money. He wanted to give to one of the people from Ghana, so they were going to give to his brother to buy a house. And look, the GF people borrow, and then they were saying that the president will not play, and
how could you do such a mistake?
And then how do you call it? The president will not play. If you don't have the money, they will not play. And then Baba Idris say, okay, no problem. I have some money with me here. And then what? He brought to the GFA. So when they go back to Ghana, his brother will go to GFA and get the money and buy a house for him. And look, Baba Idris give the money, and then they showed the money to all the 23 players. And then they went to Ghana. That time it was the time of Elijah Wola, and then Butler from Takoradi or something like that. Cape Coast. And then till now, this man did not receive the money. The brother go there several times. They say the money is not granted by government. You receive the money. This till now. Baba Idris never received the money from what? From the FA. Now, when he now go to ask this new current GFA, they'll say you have to go to bachelor regime or Jawolo regime and take your money. We are not responsible for this money. So how come this should happen?
Yeah, a player and a penny happen.
And then let me tell you something about Basiru Gambo too. But when Basiru Gambo was playing the national team, sometimes he buy his ticket and go, and then sometimes he even return to a national team very late. And when you return to national team, a club team very late, there's a problem.
you might lose a position, one thing,
and you have problem with your coach.
And then they have problem with the coach because you are not regularly returned.
Yeah.
And then after national duty, they give you 2 days to return. So these 2 days, if you are in Ghana following this ticket money, it is not fair enough playing for a country. You want to serve a country, and then you end up getting problem.
Yeah.
I might end up by saying no, because even though Ghana, we have a lot of players who want to play, but if I want to play and it's doing like this, I have to say goodbye.
No, sir, Baba Esule, we in Nisikano. And you're late too. And once Oman Omono, a better testify man, say, I. And Nippon this kind of Sataman Giscano.
No, let's say.
Take the person to call the person that give him you gave him the money. You're this kind of sharing in Semono. Yeah.
I can only hear this story in African football, but I will not hear this anywhere in.
No, player no answer me as a GF member. I me abu. So mu ku kra me sika. Me fama na fetu players ka. Ah, there be oye terrible mistake.
Look about the story, winning bonus, ticket for the players going to the club or returning to the national team. It is something that you can only hear in Africa.
It's time as any man
so I think it's the time to lift our football into a different level. And then what? We have to do a system that.
Before Ghana football, mo be obenya post kese be a lawyer ni. Omo munim ball net nchen and a lawyer saji agro needy.
So I think.
And omo play mafia games. Or yeah, if you say me share ball, me who Premiership and I say Bundesliga na yes we do unqualified player bunti at 10 points. Yes we only in Ghana.
Yeah, because how this happens.
I didn't try to
let me tell you, we don't have a system in our league. Someone have 2 yellow cards. They don't even keep record. So some of the clubs, they are very sensitive and brilliant that they are trying to notice the player when they have like some people, when this player is having a record, they tip it like this, have record. So if when you get a 5 record, some of the teams because they don't keep record, they will let this player play and then they will bring it later. This people
English Premier League, you yellow card, you have to pay. And you know over before so about match na we know that way you site or say player wenti. Mumba kwa ko 20 so ko tua wi a wo ko tua scanner risk. We refuse say player na di card. Aden yanko asa da bia ya ma enema ye difficult wo ye system me ya menti ase.
That's I was saying it because we have to do.
Me wo hwekwa William Thompson fa so ja ball boy na no oka. Me ho abepem da menti ase. Talented player like William Thompson.
It's not only William Thompson. There are a lot of good players, even who are better than Michael Essien, Slo Muntari, Asamoah. Because of true injuries, they are in their career prematurely because looking a good player get injury for someone to do what? To treat him or to let him do operation. They say go and do local what? Medicine. Let me tell you, I play one game in Ghana. I have meniscus, and then I was treating it with hot sand. Meanwhile, I was playing my leg. So when I came here, I was invited to this place, Hildesheim. Hildesheim is playing Regional Liga. Yeah. So I went to training. My first day training, I got injury. Yeah. I cannot run.
Because it's there.
The medical.
Pay any form kekebata.
So I said no. I have to wait a bit, and then they said no. Go to hospital. I go to hospital and at this scan, they said the vein is tear almost long time. So if you want to play, you spoil a leg and you cannot play football and you have to take OP. And then they just called a doctor from Hanover, they say called Dr. Vigo Kregia, who did my leg operation and said, it is good that I do my leg operation, if not, I cannot play football. I will deceive myself that it is not painful for 2 or 3 days, and then what? You go and play football, and then you get injured again. Yeah. So I think there are some good players who have to go to early operations so they can be treated and what? Come back to football and be top players.
Yeah, but
they say no, because it's expensive, it is this, no. You have to invest and then what? You gain. There are good players in their career because of what? Injuries.
They are to players. Oh, sometimes there's a striker away. Oh, yeah, system. Yeah, no players. No, share player ball in Africa, Ghana, and Mehuni more. Say player striker we best solid or Kotoko or Haas or Go Face or way, especially both Kotoko and Haas. No, you know who's a striker? No, just a purified striker. Just will be ending next year. So Obama Haas and Albo. Just our both first season, second one took and one no. Why ending the career? Because in running idea you bet 2 day at year player no. Yeah, never must see a drone ball. And I make kind of video way so. Point blank. Any pebia who was a see so. I was a ball a drone him no. Oh dada or cry. Make sure your mammy you pay. Abrabo. I dear be a challenge. I dear be any pamiano a compete biano. Any broom and a drobano. And so one must some crab be a catcher opponent. No. Say Kwawe, the number boo am take over no. eno ne yɛka ne duro na wayɛ no because power ɛwɔ saa kɛtrɛma wei so no ɛkyɛ adeɛ nyinaa so ɔhono enti no yɛ na enusɛm ne atutu deɛ ɔbɛka sɛ ɛduro ɛni bɔɔl bia me sɛ ɛbɔɔl no yɛdi akyiraa yɛnim deɛ ɛkɔ yɛnim deɛ ɛba even abrokyire ha koraa no yɛwɔ players bi ɔmo abɛbɔ bɔɔl wɔ hanom a woka wɔn bɛtɛ sɛ wɔn bɛkyerɛ wo because yɛwɔ baabi wɔ abɛkɔ korɔ ɔmo sika prince amu akosi ɔkɔbɔ team bia ɛwɔ Europe ha no ɔbɔ edu si yɛ sign na yɛ si etua ne sika ma no instead of the funny ne bank account was set to do I said mine say you know shwan no preko no biti no me check na kotum say ho no nko no say identity no this kana koto o say team no as you know emra no so at e di entra enti sa spirit na o but e di too much ye wo se nipa kura koso abrabom a ya start person ya twene san na e duro na se nipa na ye aduro a next officer also so no aduro ni bi anasa o de wade be blend asia for blend as ni ye pe aduro de say players no do players see so no enti sa na ma no aduro time I say Premier Ghana se ye bebo ye twetwe ho free sa na manim na obi timi di nsuo ni ade even the day you as professional as you are me ka Ghana Blaster match bi na yi kra we Afcon also odi nsuo no okuta no odi gu park ne so okuta de gu park ne so chase ehunhia wo ehunhia no ko shoku kwam na ye but ye dey say players and ye dey say ya ho ye fa sa topic no ye fancy ya na ye hwe
America one or two say the about Bible or in Quran they say the beginning was the word so after your mouth is what very powerful what you said if you say something good it will happen if you say something bad it will happen so the beginning is the word so I think it's the time what to waste good for other people so others also are always good for other people because the beginning was the word. Yeah. And then secondly, we should Ghana football now. We talk about Juno. Like let's say I remember some match. Me go. Me musa sa question. Who believe you say Juju or ball man? I say Juju. Me say no. I'm someone. I don't know how. You approach it. Okay. Me a band for year do but me do because in the reason that because me can't say me bought team be back on. It was very good team, but not team them about them. It was very good team. Would you see it me you be a drum and but man I say you be a drum anyway. So me ba so like Oji anodi. Me ba me. You man no answer to us. Would you see it me you be a drum and you and I say it me you be a drum and but down. Yes. Oji anodi. No. Me pa yes or no Oji di. Meet me no. Meet me because I don't believe. Say Oji ni dia catch him say Oji. Me jindi in a way that me jindi because team ne won you know what best players our team hono na in about that same team no and the team some won to compare teams amun type but your boy your team ne omu Pedro ye liquidate omu pedi edro omu pedi edro team no yeah okay so like team run no oman ye edro so about 6 matches you lose in last week one goal and then I was edro no koye e bia no malam no some malam beat malam o malam anya de e be shew tie and talk match we ko but team bi mo ye go ye say some match we ye edro de be si bia NC ye edro tie we say na win match no ye edro we win 3 from that match no ye lose match away home yi na na de ko win league no and since then na them say na sa mentality ni shemutim say ya edro tie edro be fight ya ma ya nyire ye ho eno etida mo anya edro no determination na mo de call ye no eno ena ma mo win match no etida mo adwene mu na shem say ma ya edro tie edro be bo ama mo so since I say MG did because it just me bones perfume be minti asekwa etimi milk three ho yina but since then na yan yesare no we are hoin even though it's Saturday sportive for premier every week every Thursday be any sportive for my son mark ball league match is even because sportive to Ghana ko show 1-0 so the time is sportive via no amko ko match am win because the way ball mo no different yo etiefo yam say enkomotwetwe na na eguso no ye local teams na ya shada na ase ya bofie ni more because efie sem ni hia efie ko yi a yenim say ya gro no so emu bed because na say u she uyi ni pa 100 gina ho no ma obi okra kotoko first 11 lineup chese ya ka chese we kra bokotoko awuni no ya ka chese we bo has oni no kotoko jesi empanifo ni bi
a o di football achi kotokode ha jersey o mu ni bia so sori a comment akese o tro no Facebook o tro no but o bo Tottenham o bo Manchester o bo Madrid onim player obeko transfer ne coach o ba na si cheze o mu ni bibia but ye ya adena de bia no menka say nyo say ebi obi ball ye da na bibisa adena mo yeso ye de nya attractive so abrofo no so kra hu a o mbeka sa nkrofo mu bo manimu me ba etiefo ene yem say ye de ye bebie ahoma no ye de betum ntem so obi a betimi afre no wa kire na dwene ho enkomotwetwe ye twetwe enti wo hwe screen ne so a ye number ni gu ho enti no sa wo asem bi anasa adwenkyire bi efa enkomotwetwe ye twetwe wo utimi kire wa dwene ena meka ne sa so na me pesa subscribe my e wo YouTube channel VOPAM TV Voice of Pan African Media ye wo ho enti wo subscribe a tembia no ye share program ase anasa bibia ye de beto bia no so onsa beka enti etiefo munya ne sa na ye nyina yenko enti papa meeting
dear who say Ghana teams no they have to make their jersey very attractive for the supporters to buy. And then one thing they have to get a marketing system.
What do you say, Drubabina? Azaka use South Africa.
They have to get a marketing system so that every year they will reveal their jersey for people to buy. And the supporters too, if you love a team, make sure that every year you have the latest jersey of a team. Don't have 20-year jersey and then you are saying I'm a fan of course because the more you buy a jersey, that helps the teams to grow far and try to go to the stadium and then try to pay dues. So if you are saying something, you are saying from her that I help Kotoko, I pay my dues, I go to the stadium every day for the team to get money. And secondly, most of the Ghanaian clubs, they have to make it well-recognized teams because some of them don't have team doctors. They have to have a team doctors, a well-trained physio who know more about veins and everything. So if a player is injured, you can know the way to treat the person. And then they have to have every day update training, go to training, do development trainings to upgrade their system in the healthcare because as a footballer, if you are not fit, you are not strong, you cannot play, you cannot do your best. And this is what is like some of the Ghanaian players. Sometimes the player needs some days to recover and they say, no, I have to play. And then we play and they get injured again. So I think the time to the Ghana Football Association have to every team should have all the necessary people in the team, sporting director, physio, everybody, and then marketing director, so they'll market the team very well, and then get people that will do found sponsors. And let's say that the GF have to help the teams to get sponsors. They have to call all the big companies.
Now, maybe team for association, Ghana Football Association. Team from private way or they say.
No. It's not that one. Is GF is a private by itself. It's not under government. So what I have to do? What?
Sir, no. Okay. At TFM so obi aboil room into no ya befa no obi aboil room ti ye wo sima hello me pacho utie Voice of Pan African Media wabaso na pacho udini ba bia kase free.
Okay, me kase free Ghana kuma meta se blemai.
Okay.
Junior brother. Mo argument am we em de pa your friend Richard Asante. Yeah, me on football modru ye kan no. Me kwa me Asante, me be we ase. Bla o se ni my football for 15 years ni me nyini da. Na de minimum we ase ni. Obia wo de ogidi wo wi ase. Se oya eboa no e na oye. Two, ablabo aye bo nyina obi o wa ni fie ne be me na yeyi. Obi also de ti be pempem no de yeyi. Na yen ye kro we mu no de wo ha ne se pull him down.
2 minutes. Entiano, wakeka.
Pull him down. Yeah, you Tiger Woods. I quite fast man Tiger Woods. Ebafo. You will so costro. You will say the best concentration. House of Folk on the Kotoko, Kumasi 2005. Africa. Kotoko nim so ya head. One you plan A, plan B, plan C. Kotoko edune referee ni ball. Ewa bla obetimi plan B, betimi opponent team. A victory na ope. It will be hard in any bestial drosso. You will view. Or for Flosso. It's a football module. As far as I'm concerned, bra, me football module in me China.
Okay.
Bla, Hitlaniana, I also left much for what could train Yaba. Me many and says in Waba, no better than say. What the hard work, determination, no better spirit, I can't away. No, it's me or I will come and be a BBC for her, BBC man for her. It's me the football module, dear. Me neither, but unya memory ya denantia e wa dwuma wo ye ni mu e na hu mafia ene bibia de wo e ma ti move on ye taate ramadan no na sefo obia was spirit o di na de achi eti bedo spirit ma de ogidi But football maduro some akoya duro na me friend fa for bonkum na bebo am yesi die me nye ni da nya me nka mo nyina am
yo ye da se etiefo ono so a kire na adwene say ball eduro enim ene ade but me say me de obi a wabobo wo legend ebeba afidie we so on be obe kire bibia ase se eduro e wo ballum ana se eduro eni ballum enti Saviola
the Richard kind no and the crowd because uji eduro dia na be dwuma because say eduro no ko be dwuma okrampo within 2-3 minutes e be dwuma bet so obi wa trainer o trainer o fitter obo krampo a
yeah hello obi wa homa so hello
yeah hello
yeah me pa cho ye be mo akwa ba e dia ba Voice of Pan African Media so
your friend is
hello
yo me da say your friend is Samuel Akwasipoku me free Ghana
okay who 2 minutes
your friend is Samuel Akwasipoku me free Ghana na imate mabonita moya there but there meaning for sports on say there's nothing like juju in football. It's all psychological tricks.
Okay. Psychological tricks.
I drew beer any so could me said no they are petty partners.
Sir.
I have fun so na yam powder man ya yam chalk and powder or bar parking so no to kosro and I'm say kotoko visa ya drunti na psychologically affect kotoko na kotoko atime has it masha kotoko.
Okay. Akwasi me musu asamba akubi.
From to mo konkran bia
akwasi what they say what border
me school na me goalkeeper
okay
me da go school proper college na me go
okay enti how dey to uncommon so no na mpese mebusa
enti dey na me kan say edro bia ni bo no ba you know ho na bo na man ko officer draw bo mo no draw bia ni bo mo ay psychological trait me ko metia DJ Wooly and Dr. Jaba was born in
yati akwasi yeso ya chia ye de wasepa ne wadwen kira oso odiaba why yo etiefo akwasi pokuso ene kira adwen no all the way from Ghana ahomane dem ti no wo officer o person of friend also kira wadwen no you know we screen to see your number no betimi afre eti no meet you
there also can and the crowd because sometimes psychology me kai say say Europe 2000 and Germany 2006 when France lost against Italy in the final. Some of the players was down, but they have to give each and every player psychologists. So they will psych them up for the next game because they know that there's no any medicine in football. There's only a mind game. So sometimes every team have to have psychology. So they will psych the players in some games. So they have to give before play against Kotko, they should have a psychologist and they'll give each and every player psychologist. So they'll talk to the player, monitor their movement and everything, and see the kind of player who is into this game to play. It doesn't matter you are a good player, this top game you are going to be flourish or you're going to be a good game. So they have psychologists who will monitor you and see how you can do in the game. So I think it's the time for players to if the team is not having, get someone who can psych you up in different games, motivate you, tell you this is possible, this is not possible. So you can go for but medicine. I don't believe football. As I said, I don't believe in medicine.
Okay.
I don't believe in medicine.
Saviola so adwen chire no. Saviola ye course na ye kwa enim no. Na ye fa don bote die no. So ehwani enfan tweto. Don bote so aka nsem ko sapon, excuse me. Ko sapon aka nsem bebre. O say weed we habanya nsafo a ebinom no mbodam ebi so mu no disua de no. Just a Premier League, you know, from coast to Premier, no. Enipa bebre almost 80% to 90. And also mu fanu bone and sound mo ba park ne so. Na one year kra no de Robert Mensah when you're baby ko and a legend bako I think what damn as if say example na sadia no one who be done as what to be one some that and in the first place the as Premier League you tested blood you know as a ball no bar be boko say so come ni post so head you say dear no have no more so there and no one yeah Saviola him say obi aba ho man so yeah hello
hello
what's about subi
Masaba Studium. Now, person is a very good.
Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah.
The confess idea my brother or the junior brother and natural band me. Now, I can't see somewhere 2004 2005. Yeah, about community game. Omuko, and I miss Mumiko, Amaanah Mumuko, and I miss Mumiko. And I know more ball quarter fana or semi fana, yet media rafana. And in a match in Mistro. And I made me godfather can't let me say, Rich, waiting away no match now, and Crawford Obla with him no blind agent, and to do something against him. Me hate him upon an edit him move, and or cast him provoking. I went straight to my brother, meaning my brother, you know, but me provoking. Me had that send a bufuma, me want to be running to. I remember a boba no kick and uncle. So I can't say me, or bobola, and I need to call me in more than 3 months. Me and Latino, they're not me pen or no. Elimination and I'm a knocking my brother down.
Say, what the Kawadine, Casawi.
Sorry, I'm causing me really my answer, man.
80 Sevilla football I bono. Me candidate be as a dear old pet, Cotoconias 2005 was a Mississippi Piana Biase, Cotocoba Bofana Waha. Waka Akobodro. Akobodro, what will come say? Look at me in your trouble, a national in America. Look at Ashanti region boys and no more. Anyhow, and I can't see a stake Makotoko. Nakotoko, need to referee near Druso. I will bet me unlock yourself for Louis Ajimamuni in Pabel 4. A Junior award in Amode Yaborno. Who kiss our players for no. At the end of the day, who no more you with them. Pa ye mobile. Players in the sea, I have no more. Psychologically, what say has team the upper Sabeka? But one young smart or one more. We have plan A, plan B, plan C. 9 and 10 minutes. We had our plans in Nabako farm. Now do I look at 12 so just say has the draw for Kotoko. Now Kotoko, so I then also knock us up for 2,000 almost musica. Who provoke your man? A before the room with him, and the Omo Penomuna, and the football doing that the minimum or psyche. Idea open and also psychological and here. You make me also, yeah, that's it. No, so I drink it. Now, Savilla,
as a Richard Richard Cano and the crap because me carry some of them, even the Bundesliga. Hanover Mobo against Stuttgart, a deciding game. Onomokache Anthem say on market Traude, who is now playing for Cologne, also marking in few. We be a Traude Kobiano. Anthem Dinechi. Sometimes compo Anthem to me here or to me piano and now to me the Casa. In other what obviously concentration normal because to every bonus second game be also goal. So like they find someone who can what make him frustrated for them to win. So I think like also we need psychologists. They have to what psych the players up in terms of difficult games so they can frustrate other players to win. To say as some of kind of minimum but always said it. On himself no only your brothers so or no provokua over there who game the piano you play in excellent game and then you will not have your best form. So like Obaka say on Obama check up say me bull like and then you not even do your best. So this is one of the things. So you feel away there. Even it might not be what you are thinking, say, or no answer, but or no what he think. No, the other year, no. If it worked for him, that he believed that worked for him, and then that much.
Sir, as I'm not kind. Yeah. After program, no. Mama who answer.
Okay. After program, answer. Mama who answer. Richard use the right strategy to defeat you. And in football too, we need psychologists. We need a system where to go.
Oh dear, young ko J is upon assembly so. Now, again, Tina. Edientina Ghana Premier League yetimi bo wa bra yenye draft test na obitimi ko fa no bone de asem na waka nye no Robert Mensah tam nyina o ebepem de enti enkosi da ben na yeah hello yeah.
Okay, the talk about drug test, no, I think it is very bad for Ghana football, say because you're born and it affects some of the players in profession because sometimes we more because of a drone anonymity. So obit me it me promises to go about this there.
What the player we Eddie Abu Imoru
meted in there. Yeah. Like obit because of drugs too, he lost a lot of chance because himself he go or call be on to
according to football history. Our northern region.
Abu Moso is from Tamale.
Yeah, ball. Na Abedi Pele was no near to him. Abu Imoru omo munim ball no omo hwe the ball
from at you
omo say chest na be repair man no ye ka say baller and so on say odi ne hu ra enubone ne sa na mani ene hu abu imora rebe ho
my guy said tema me fit tema so like I see those players they have one boy who was playing Rice you see he's gent like Raymond Kala I forget his real name but we call him Rice and we have this is here too it's the same gent he even play from Gapor Sportif and then even how to call it House of Folk because of drugs these people were not able to realize they're doing into a high level this boy should have even played some of the big teams in Europe at things like Ghana Bono I say want to say so we are offer drug team have to do a law because we are paying you are being employed by Kotoko you are being employed by House of Folk you are being employed by Asantigo so you see don't smoke don't drink so even here in Europe you can drink alcohol but smoking is something that is prohibited because if you are caught you have to pay or you have to go to prison so I think Ghana football have to do it in a way that you can smoke when there is no any football activity or if you are not in if you don't want to reach high in football you can smoke but so far as you want to commit yourself to be a professional footballer you don't have to part in Ghana football because it will help with Ghana football because very good players who are they lost their chance because of smoking and of boy it didn't take this blood test
yeah
I remember this Black Star boy Christopher Antoine who's now playing for Paderborn
yeah
there was a game in the Bundesliga the way this boy ran after the game this duping people just took him away to the toilet that have to urinate they go and do snell test and then the next days he said no it's normal because in Ghana look at how Kojopoku was running look at how Domboto was running so do them blood test check and see whether it is true or not
me grab kakra me kai say ice gold and Kimfesa ewo oboase na Kofi Amwako
yeah
ball bitumu sana Kojopoku nya etimi 10 no center arc no echi santo 10 no
and then Joe Louis look at how these people are running
and will take you off na Kojopoku mi kana no oko no Kofi Amwako tan shirt musa yes I know tetoy wo de hwe de wa Kojopoku timi twen na sefiri honom sa ade ni wura box nim di ohwe bi no wo twen na sa ade ni wura box nim to wura box nim na odan ho to ntina referee yesen ko beje penalty nti keeper ni pia be fa ball na Kodwo sa wo so kakra bi ti keeper ni gina ball eti enye se bi Akodwo ana se Louis ana obi atake bibi da bi enye sa na tie for ye ka omu natural power obi a won physical de bobo me Kodwo minim ni free ne nkwalem ye nkwalem bobo no minim American ye a wotu Joe Louis but ye chese ye o match ni bi won man ke bowie ya ni ekuta jesi se 202 or so 2000 Rio Ferdinand
yeah
obobo bi wo huri course mo bi hye na ase de wo si be hwe ho sole ye na any American wo say to no ye pon ball na ni so ni duam ne smasa besene test ye so ni bo anko aso anko ye bandel no one season one mobile one good season not just a positive
even look at Koliture he was before the game before like they have a game tomorrow and then it says he have headache and they took ibuprofen and then the next day he was tested they saw that he took they bound him he paid money if he took like because of headache
boy yeah na say free we Liverpool call Crystal Palace
so this thing Sako Mohamed Sako said the same thing yeah draw for the funny girlfriend and yes every week no crowd wa for draw their funny girlfriend twem 2 weeks or so but obobo ni we no mu say no akoy the and pass ball here attention so he bia no money I think Manchester United was we are contesting and actually no so enya draw bia na say ya che no say no enya allowed you see entino ada na idea no enti uhema ya na ya kase age me hunu sa age no ya nkrofo bebre a me kase mre bi former play Ghanaian no ni mbo pa na friend Kwabra Boatin obogapo a obo ice gold yam so wa free na me fan crazy no ka story bi oso no Kwabra de obetimi aye no but one trabonten anya de bi am obi ahu da enso secret no eniema no wo ye no pa insane ade obeye woni dem no
so hono enti uhu nipa na oh there be na no ho den say ni so ne ma na oye sa ne ma ni nyina aka ho ma ye career no essay
because sometimes we need self motivation and then other people motivation.
No, self motivation, no. Me crowd here me hu ne sa. Ye say any power as a sportsman and a footballer no. E say onya career guidance.
Cool.
So at yes yeah. Dem say etiefo obi aba homa no so ye beto aso. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. Me pacho hi Voice of Pan African Media. Obebo din na wa kire be bia free.
Okay, Mpacho, Doctor Nakasa, Katapi Hanover.
Okay.
Doctor Java.
Okay.
Okay, Eddie kind of medical bomb was Juma Papa Mo, sports and Modema and move him.
I said that's a doctor.
Me, my drink check a cramp, Mitre, Efa, and someone walk on a Fasibia. You believe who said a drew to me more football.
Okay.
Yeah. The person me my drink channel. And I said, if I say, come out, be a OTA, be a say, be PN who have friend of football.
Okay.
Be a baby, a wow, madam.
Okay.
Any dinner.
Okay.
Any a home farmer over Yenti. The Uy Biano. It's me a successful man because you have a British league or boy. Other European countries in all your Mulega, but now he training our Moya. Africans, yeah, we can do the same thing, but yeah, because of laziness. Anytime you will be a PC at the end of Tusunti. A Jumano, or see 100%, maybe 50% near the near to be a you also. Yes, you draw football.
Okay.
What does it? Because I don't know a football. Any panels, I won't walk a year droners 1 year training. And I said, no more so to come 1 fan to took any panel training from Monday to Sunday. They be a with a year trainer. Ukushana, Shano Bashao, into a show one of a can say, oh, can say, or year group.
No, doctor, but Memusu same way. What is Ghana movie industry, no, especially Kumawood for no, almost Umutu Mundru. Me pacha what is happening? Okay, Matthias. Okay, what do you call him? Now, as another person, draw attention. We are on going to the call him.
Oza before I am pebble into DVI through my what I say, Obi in Crampuna. True, we are naturally bombarded. And you have a brain now, Obi no person won't call him that here. Obi and who's had you, but almost ready to level be as well, or Johnny or Cosmo. Oh, yeah, no, Nippon do not answer Mokasan because. Plenty. Nini ane kone no na bi nse o de drone e bona baba drone leading man ye de o ye nya ye ba mpese me catch obi a wotie bi ane se drone bi no football mu e ya kwadwora ye nti na tam ye ka se drone football mu nti train na o se ye na 100% na ye 50% ne de ye drone bi ani nti mem no ti no bi do ba me da ma
yo doctor so anything can also the na dey chiraba Saviola me fa no ye wo 8 minutes ye di dwumadi no beba wie enti emi bone ne ho asem na ene egu so etiefo o message so abetimi de abaye be kan ama na me mame sanfa we kran fam e bia na opese wo bo wade bi ho dahuru e wo abruchire ha anase Ghana o frɛ ye number na ye betumi no wadi ho nkomo ba bia wo bia no ye no betwetwe nkomo na ya hwɛ emwa ne kwan a yeso ye betumi afa so eno aye adwuma na YouTube no so ye sremo a aya na ma subscribe amaye enti Saviola ye guso ewo enubone ne ho
edon de say ono so kano edon na Ronaldo also osina cancel like he's in the top for how many years? Almost 20 years. Every year he's performing the same thing. He's doing well. Look at Messi. Look at Zidane. Look at Brazil Ronaldo. And look at how do you call it, Riquelme from Argentina. And look at this Muller and those people. They're every time on the same form. They don't do any medicine. They don't believe in any other thing. Even if they're doing any other thing, they make sure that they train and then be in their best form. For Ghana footballers, say Obiba, not like he's in form for 1 or 2 years. We don't see him again.
Yeah.
Just like he dropped one and then he's gone one. Like a water drop from a drop from water in the summer. He dropped down and it appeared.
And what's our angle as well? I say, as you're born and shut down yet professional be. Imagine set me a dream dada. And me sign me contract me sika meji. And I will yabeto yakoto ne do aba also buy no. Ebi osika ne cost chair me. And I say bibisa. Wajiske mode. Ubo so ma gang up bi Sadia, your soccer anymore. Want to gang up, get started by ultimate improve.
And that's what I say. That's what is right. And your friend say lack of ignorance because say if we are in the same team and you are taking more salary than me because of what he's playing, I also have to work hard so I can get a new contract somewhere to get this money, or when a contract that I can renew a big contract. This is what you have to do. I'm talking this one like Luis Ajimai. Yeah. When Luis Ajimai was playing as a folk, there are a lot of teams who came for Luis Ajimai. He didn't go. They moved from South Africa came. Even he go. Costco wanted him to get Luis Ajimai back, but he said no. I'm here and I'm performing well. I will stay here and then get a team somewhere to go. Yeah. So he waited till Kaiser Chief came for South Africa and then he moved. So this is how you have to do. Even by that time, he was not any good in House of Folk because he was not even expected that he would be a top player in House of Folk. But he surprised everybody being the top player in House and then go to South Africa. This is how you have to do. So you have to look. Sometimes your first professional contract, you might not get the money that you expected. So try to improve. Don't expect big money. Let the big money come by itself by playing a nice football, having a good season, and then you can go somewhere to earn the money.
You at here for him say you go so ye discussion. We bet me the message number into message no kakra bi alande wa him say ma menkan na ma menyim fro na yenko yanim mate me ba at here for ora ku pepra dankwa was a nice one Amaanah you kwaku me da say Freddy cause also share free Canada and Henora kwatin also share Germany Hanover here and Nana Santia Infi or VOPAM Sports we are and on Wasaka beam VOPAM Sports we are listening. Okay, that's it. Bravo guys and also so yeah Nana Santia Infi na Joy the Darling G on also so share free Italy George Blue Bra George Miami Blapen you know also so share and Quabs ni mo well done guys on also so yeah me uncle back on also so hanom and Marvin Ozigi on also so shared in Samuel Akwesipoku so share free Ghana and Samuel Akwesipoku now say there is nothing like juju in football. They are all they are all psychological tricks. Okay, yeah, psychological tricks. And on also so no adrenaline no and Agwalanza on also share. And no, I don't know. Agwalanza Umasi, good afternoon, senior. Senior, yeah, so and your program is nice. Keep it on, okay. Asante, on also no. At here for your time, your time was Antino. Oh, I drink Chiribia, I'll bet me actually, or 3 minutes a day be free. Bet me a friend, Wakan, Adrene, and Sana, yeah, did you make you know, Abba every year. And my interesting story be. On say, oh, share, yeah, born now. Ye Premier League na ye bona players ni bebre secretive for makers ontimi nyina na so for 2 seasons consecutive so atiase onya so say ya na niema bi secret omo ye na ye omo sa
and you know the kind is and sometimes
me koto obi me koto footballer bi na ono mu sana ba bi o hye no I said, hiding. I am saying, I said, who like, me, I'm not your manager, I'm not your friend. So, charging, I say.
I said, there are some it is discipline, and sometimes they are not having enough rest. Some of them, they are almost for a draw, and now it doesn't help them. Some of them, they are not training well. Some of them, they think, okay, it is now, they settle for less. They say, okay, I'm playing as a folk. I get 3 or 4 million, it's okay for me, it doesn't want to improve. So some of them they settle for less and they end up not doing successful in their career. And some of them they say, okay, well, I cannot make it. House of Focus is enough. Or maybe they are humanizers and then they are not having the right people to advise them. So they end up not maintaining this rhythm, this form for long time. So they could have this, they could play this game well, next game, okay, like this. So they end up not going far. And football, if you want to be a footballer, you have to be in some certain standard, and then you're improving the standard. You are going up. You don't have to go and come like this, so it doesn't make you a quality player. A quality player always fight from 1 or from 0, 2, 3 to the best of his performance. So I think some of the Ghanaian players they don't see this. Let's say here in Germany or in Europe, every player has statistics. The number of games you play, the minute, and how you perform, the assist and do. So this player, the player go and look. the statistics that they have for mini games and then improving. But in Ghana, there's no statistics in our football. So this one doesn't also encourage the Ghanaian footballers. So I think they have to they somewhere have to open a campaign, statistics campaign for the GFA to follow. So the players that one shouldn't be done by the team, but the GFA have to follow a statistic company or somebody who can do statistics for each and every player, so that they'll update each and every player performance. So the players will look in the internet and see that this game I improved. I have 2 points, 3 points. So they can increase their tally to the high level, so they'll know their standard. They are.
I don't understand your language. Agbalanza, no. Agbalanza, we are talking about our African players who take drugs before playing football. Some of them take hard drugs before they enter the field, but after the game, there is no doping test or just he took the medicine, come and butcher some people and go scot-free. That's the matter we are talking about now. So Yamreno, our time is already up, so I don't think we can discuss anything anymore. Agbalanza, I'll call you later. Therefore, I am saying you about no say one program no ye kasa na ye kana siem so Nigeria ni ntino me kire na se kakra bi. Therefore, I am saying ya kan sempi musumati bebre machire madwene da masepa sa na ya na ye pese anka agro no eko na ye de to sa na musuma frɛ ana asuma send message na mususo machire madwene akopa ena se obi kire na adwene na se na odi na anko we ba akoma mesre we ma na nye se ebia odidi watem ana se wo ka asembi etia because enne ma agro ne ye de ntina me de mechanic pain se ball a draw but enipa bi so si ebinim entino minim se ye guso a ye kon da ko ye benya obi obeka so no kra bi a waye bi da ma na boa no sa na bla boti entino ye ntwe ho ye nya ho argument bebre enti ene no de mre na akoso ano no ye de ye dwumadie no ba wiye na ye de dwumadie no ba wiye no me fa afidie so no matu nipa kakra bi fo sa covid-19 no yare na bapa me ka se maya na ase ye dada ye ho yare no wo hopa bapa me mpesa me bo minim baabi a chese day in day out kwa na ekoso enti wo ho a enya ho se me yese ebi kra na se yare ndi akwa na ebi kra no anya bi na onim utimi nya bi na onim but bibia so nshow so ati ase enti no ensembebre ya DJ me mpesa me de betudwa esa omunim pa tina me bo me kasa no me pese esa na detention ba adwuma mu enti no ye sremo obia mo no ban se de emra na egu akwan mu no so obia nkwa even the ota okra no what is wawu because enipa so mesi na awi ansa na ebia okohye dem no obaginani a waginani so hono enti esremo a ye nuanom ye kromfo momo ye mo ye ho ban emfiri sayarenim enkaka ne mpanimfo ne yeso anya hwe but ye ne nkwala so enete enti no beka akofa na de akoka nkwala na akoye problem enti no ye sremo mefa afidie we so no ma me ne tiefo na kasase ye sremo a sane ma no momo modena momo ho ban na montwe mo film saviola yam say ye de dwumadie no abawie enti mema akwan na wo futuo bi ana se wo asemba akomienu ne nchia bi a obechia na ye de dwumadie na abawie na ye free hammer de to asoso aba
to say coronavirus and still it is real, so everybody should take the precaution and then protect yourself in everywhere you are going, so we can take this sickness out of this world, so we can have our normal life. And before we even talk about this football and everything, so I think it is now to change African football now, as some of the big giants in football said, Balotelli, we have the best stadium, we have to have good academy, we have to pay our players good, so that will leak be a place to be like in Europe here, and then we can also one day buy player from Germany, buy player from Argentina, buy player from Brazil to play in our league. So I think it's time for now to reorganize African league and make African the best place to play football at the moment. And the won't be Voice of African media. If say weekends be a multi sport, never more comment, improve, because without you, we can never be the voice of Africa. And then person time be more than more mon click offense notification when a bell no ne de umbiano de umbiano more mo bit ma share ideas na united you enjoy. So voice of an African media always the place to listen. Every weekends 2 o'clock live
na oncha ubia
michia me brothers omo tema Ghana because some people di me brother you know bia hwe and handover so michia obia and michia FS DJ Willie the only roster in town obia all man no nonsense cry ye late kwampo no kasa ye late bia Willie for a bonnet chair be time bia ever program in time. Okay
yo at here for him say minia Insubila Nul AK Sabiola otene na kugu ye de dwuma de na ba wie na meda enipa obia ase medical kasa wadaroma se wo follow e say na wa subscribe e wo YouTube na ye static program na osusu wenya na adwenkyere bia won because enti program friend Pan African no ye station ye friend Pan African enti obia wo Africa emfa ho ne kasa wo kanewe so far as wo ho no nko ade kasa bi odi send bread say asem na ye ka no nti ase ye betra ne so kakra yinim no yaka na ososo ate ase enti ye nche ho no ye say ye beda nipa ba ko mienu bi ase na ya sole dwumadie no so me da ase no na me do bi biara onya akwan ehwe program yi ase henora me da ase wo hwe dwumadie no enti no ye da ase se onya homre woni nana asante ahimfie ene mu amunya abreme ame bra George Brew uru akupi prada nkwa agbalanza mu amunya amre hwe ye ni nyina George the darling G oso hwe me free Italy ton ene me ame manager Dr. Kejaba mi nkonya DJ Willie yes ono ana eme producer
DJ Willie
enti ebia na opese wo hyehyɛ o machines bi o fidie bi na nhunu so oje ho anye o me asote a DJ Willie ho onso be hunu kwan a odo be fa so enti no me koso no mechia me sofo panini Apostle Reverend Kwabrama Nkwa Afrifa Christian Hope sofo panini no sofo nyamenyo kese awie bia wo bia wone ohun kan ma Charlotte na me san so chia me ame bra Frank one ne yere abawa Naomi Frank mechiao awie wo bia wo bia nyame hwemo so enti no ye nche ho ye de dwumadie no abawie nyame ya adoma memenda ebe ye one of the best interview ebe interview no ene de mebodin meboni din na wo question bi ana say why ready say wo beboaboa onsem ano no ubetimi di aba Godfred Yeboa former Kumasi Asante Kotoko left back ono ene ene betwetwe nkomo wo studio hanom enti so hu se de photo no abeto ye Facebook page ono ma question bi a wono utimi twero no ho anase ye program no ase a utimi deba enti no DJ Willie ene Dr. Kejaba ene ne yere Madaroma ye de dwumadi na ba wie onyame enhwe obi bia so na omo ho ban na otwe se ne se ye be hia hanom a ye besa ka se nyame na aye obi amon ho ban free COVID-19 akwasi jima ba bia obi Italy mechia wo edumoja sabato enchia nkoma nyame nyam kese ye damasi akra obi bia bye bye
makwaba samre ye jina Vadenvader Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro Shop enimu na ye jinen ma yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Nana Afro ewo se Nana Afro Shop inside na yeweyo ye wantuma odo bebre ye wo kente ye wo meba wa abrochire eba no lace so a eya na nkofo bebre nim se ye ba no abrochire ha ye ni lace papa ba oba Nana Afro Shop a ye wo lace bebre ye wo sheda colors ahodo dia wo pebia different kinds ye wo sweet sheda ye wo German sheda ene ye wo normal sheda ne wo pesa wo de pambia sa wo ye oba sa wo ye bema de wo pesa wo de sheda no eye bia eno so ubetumi e de aye koba no enwi so a me wo riga ya ye deda ye wo Brazilian hair ye wo human hair papa ye wo Peruvian hair de obenu awaduane wom de wo pesa wo de nyama gum ni nyina wo Nana Afro Shop a ni nyina wo benya bi ato Nana Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi